Hey there everyone, Roguefox here, and welcome back to another episode of Will It Spawn. Today we will be covering version 1.2.5 for the Bedrock edition. In the previous episode we covered version 1.2.3. So what we did was we went down all these blocks right here. These are supposed to be blocks, mostly transparent blocks that mobs were not supposed to spawn on, but we found out that they did spawn on them. So you can see the glass block, the stair block, trapdoor, path block. All of these were blocks that mobs were not supposed to spawn on, but they did. So with the new changelog we found out, hostile mobs will no longer spawn on top or inside transparent blocks. So with that, today we are going to go down this list again, which are not all of the transparent blocks, but are blocks I feel are generally used around house builds and bases. So the only blocks that were safe last time were the half slab, the leaf block, and the lily pad. So what we want to find out today is whether or not these blocks are still not safe, or to see which blocks were fixed and are now safe from mob spawning. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so to kick things off, we're going to go ahead and check the glass block. So what we're going to do is I have these command blocks set up. I press this spawns all the blocks that I want, and we're going to come down here and we're going to set this to hard. And if you haven't seen this before, what we do is we kind of wait around, or I'll cut ahead just to see if mobs would be spawning. So if you recall last time in our last video, mobs were immediately spawning as soon as I put up the glass blocks. So let's give it some time and let's see if anything spawns. So we've been waiting about a minute. Now before, as I mentioned, mobs would spawn immediately, but you can see a little slime block over there, so you know mobs should be spawning. But as you can see, they did fix the glass block. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in front of this one, and we're going to go ahead and mark this, meaning that it is now safe from mob spawning. And what we're going to do, we'll continue to go down the list, and we'll continue to mark our glass just like this. Next, we are testing the stair block, and this is the original reason why I created this video, was because whenever I built a house, I had skeletons, creepers spawning on top, and it was giving me a hard time. So this is why I decided to do this whole entire series in the first place, just to help us out. And if we take a look here, we can see mobs are no longer spawning on the stair block, which means they fixed it, and it is safe from mob spawning. Next on our list is the path block. So this looks good. There's a slime over there, but no mob spawning in the middle here. So it's all good, it's fixed, and it's safe from mob spawning. Next, we're testing out our iron and wooden trapdoors. So it's been about a minute already, and there's nothing spawning. So this block is also fixed, and mobs will no longer spawn on it. Next on our list is the carpet. This was also another block that was having mobs spawn on it. So we're going to go ahead and check it and see if they fixed it. We set this to hard like that, and immediately we have a skeleton. So they did not fix this block, so this one is still not safe from mob spawning. Next up is the farmland block. Now last time we did this was a little tricky because I don't have any water in there when it spawns. So what I'm going to have to do is stand back, and if anything spawns, I'm going to have to jump in there immediately to see if that was on farmland or on dirt blocks. So with that, let's go ahead and try to do this. Farmland, it's drying up, hard. And we kind of just wait. So if I do see something spawn, I will check to see if it's on a dirt block or on the farmland. Now usually, in the past, in the last video, once we spawned something in, they were immediately spawning. So farmland is looking good so far. Nothing yet. There we go, creeper. On dirt. Yep. Okay. So if they were going to spawn on farmland, they definitely would have done so by now. So let's go ahead and say they did fix this, and we're going to go ahead and say farmland is now safe from mob spawning. Next, we are testing the fence post, and from what I saw, it is now safe from mob spawning, and that also goes for the cobblestone wall and iron bars. If I remember last time when we checked it, mobs were spawning on top, and mobs were even spawning inside our fence right here. So they fixed that. So fence posts, cobble walls, and iron bars are now safe from mob spawning. Now we are going to test the redstone lamp when it is off, and as you can see, mobs are definitely spawning on top of that. I realized after looking it up, redstone lamps are only transparent partially when it's turned on, but with that, they're also letting off light, so mobs will definitely not spawn on a redstone lamp turned on. So you can see right here turned off, they are spawning, so this block is still not safe. Next we are testing soul sand, and I forgot where I had read it or it was mentioned. That's the first time I saw a witch. The first time that I read it, they said soul sand was supposed to prevent mobs from spawning. I don't know where they got that information from, because soul sand is not a transparent block, so I might remove this from the list in any future videos. So we can see mobs are spawning, so let's go ahead and mark that with some red glass. According to minecraft.gamepedia.com, ice blocks are transparent on the Bedrock edition, but if it's on the Java edition, they are partially transparent with a -2 to light. And since it is a transparent block on the Bedrock edition, you can see no mobs are spawning. There's a slime block right there. So they fixed this block as well, and ice blocks are now safe from mob spawning. Okay everyone, we are getting down to our last 3 blocks. So we have the lily pad, the leaf block, and the low half slab, which we're going to go ahead, just to save time, we know they're not going to spawn on that. So what we're going to do is check these 2 blocks to see if these are still safe or if they made some changes to this. So I'll let you guys see my process for this one since we're near the end. I've been letting the lily pads run, there's nothing spawning on it, so we're going to mark this with a green piece of glass because it is still safe. Now we're going to go ahead, just to show you guys my process now, I reset this, set it back to peaceful, come back down here, I'll spawn the next block, and I'll set it to hard, and we just wait around. Just to be fair, I did let it go ahead and run for just a minute or so, just to make sure nothing was going to spawn on it before I jumped the gun, and what we can see is that leaf blocks are still safe from mob spawning. And that will conclude our testing for today. Now if we just have a look here, we can see all the red glass blocks that were from version 1.2.3. These all represent blocks that mobs were spawning on. But we tested it again for version 1.2.5, and we can see that they did fix the majority of these blocks. So to recap, let's go ahead and turn our attention over here. The blocks that are now safe from mob spawning that weren't before in version 1.2.3 but are now safe in version 1.2.5 are the ice block, the glass block, stair block, leaf block, low slab, fence, including cobblestone walls and iron bars, the lily pad, the farmland, the path block, and our trap doors. Now the ones that didn't work in this test were the carpet, the soul sand, and the redstone lamp when it is off. As I mentioned, I will get rid of the soul sand for the next test, but for the carpet, I believe that is a transparent block. They are still spawning on that, and the redstone lamp is not a transparent block, so I will be removing that as well. With that being said, that will conclude our test for today, and I hope you guys found this helpful, and I'm definitely glad that they fixed a lot of these blocks, because it's pretty frustrating having mobs spawn on transparent blocks. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys next time. Rogue Fox is out. See you later.